Hey Calgary, thanks for joining me again today. It's Corey with Brannon Construction. Today I'm doing a site walkthrough and I wanted to get you guys out to check out this basement development we're doing. As I show you around, I'm going to talk about why the planning process is important, what you need to do, things to consider, and bring you up to speed on where we're at in the construction process with this job. So we've talked about this before, but a basement development definitely requires some level of planning to prepare for not only your building permit, but just so you get a clear understanding of what the basement's going to look and feel like, and you know what to expect. It'll also help your team of contractors get a good understanding on what the project entails, and they can help you with proper price outlines. That's the way we like to do things, the Brannon way, of course. Also, project budget, and again, the timelines. That's all stuff that planning is going to help you with, so you get a good feel, good understanding for that before you start the job. So, things to consider with your planning process is selections. You need to know what type of materials, what type of color you're going to put to your trim, your walls, etc. But also things to consider on the technical, so to say, end of it, especially in the city of Calgary. So if you're going to have a bedroom in a basement or anywhere in your house, you do need to update and put direct wired smoke detector in the bedroom. And then secondly, outside the bedroom in the common area, in this particular situation, you can see we've got to have a smoke CO detector as well, and all hardwired into each other, or if your house has it, the other ones throughout the home on the main and second floor. So the bedroom, you need an egress window in your bedrooms should you choose to add that into your basement. Not only does it need to conform with the size, but your house has to be positioned in such a way on your property because there's minimum setback requirements too. And in the city, our side yards, like this one, is quite close. So you need to be able to not only get out the window, but away from the side of the house should there be a fire. The city's also looking at window wells. If you've got old window wells, we've been called in the past on them being too narrow. So, they have problems with, the window well size, even though it's a conforming size of egress window. So something to look out in your bedrooms when you're gonna add those into your basement. This one's gonna have a nice closet. We're going to insulate the ceiling in just the bedroom for sound. It helps with the sound when people are down here sleeping and someone's up on the main floor in the kitchen making breakfast, perhaps. It gets quite loud. So we'll put insulation and soundbar, resilient channel, and then our 1/2-inch drywall. So as you walk out into the common area, there's a mechanical room, which in every basement is something that you're probably just going to block off and leave undeveloped. And then this one, some storage along the side, some existing shelves the homeowner had in here, and we're cool with working around that because it's all pushed over to one side away from our scope. So secondly, how we like to frame things, we do it 16-inch on center. We feel that it's not worth cheaping out on a stud or two. We want to make nice solid walls. We use plywood for our front faces on our bulkheads, and then 2x2 beneath, and we make sure that all corners have rigid backing so that the drywall can't flex and move around, causing cracked beads in the future. You need to make sure that your vapor barrier is up to snuff. Around all outlets need to be properly sealed with that little boot that's in there, which you probably can't see, but there's a little piece of plastic that's formed around that outlet box, and then we can properly tape that in and to the 6mm vapor barrier there. So all joints need to be acoustical caulked, stapled well, And you need to check your wall assembly in some instances because the energy code is a new thing in Calgary too. So if you're going to add something and maybe the base build that was done 6 years ago didn't include this, you may have to bring that wall assembly, the insulation and frost wall up to par. This one was, so we didn't need to consider doing that in this job, but perhaps you're into an older basement that doesn't have that. So nice big rec room here. So your lighting plan should be considered right from the get-go, especially in a basement. So 2 pots in that bulkhead, couple flush mounts, a few more pot lights there will be dimmable. We used a pot light more so it was recessed into the ceiling in the hallway because of the dropped bulkhead. Bulkheads are common because of the HVAC and how it's routed during the base build. So we have to often drop ceilings in spaces, our basement spaces, and we like to do that with nice, clean, slick lines. Again, a smoke CO in the common areas, and we added some additional outlets up at the wall hung TV height, and then we can chase HDMI data, whatever need be, through that wall after. Often we'll put a rigid piece of conduit there too, but this one we can reach from the back side to fish wires, so it's not so bad. Here we're gonna add off the central vac pipe another outlet so we can utilize the central vac system in this bathroom as well. And then something else you need to consider with your receptacles in your basement. So they need to be on arc fault protected circuits. Something like that. And they have the little green, or the new ones we'll put in here when we trim this out, are white. So you need to make sure that you're complying with the electrical codes by putting the arc fault protected circuits in your basement development or any home renovation. So in here we basically have a GFCI receptacle to the right there that's going to be above the vanity, and then we've got our bath fan. Bath fans are super important. It's vented outside properly. Nice short run to ensure that we are going to have adequate ventilation and can get that air out while we're showering and it's moist. Also the plumbing. So the plumbing will be the next topic that we discuss. So this one we added fixtures, so we do require a plumbing permit. We did a little bit of breakup off of where that existing toilet rough-in used to be. So we're gonna pull a permit, and we have pulled a permit. So when you add the fixtures, of course, you need to pull a permit versus maybe just changing out a faucet or some new shower trim, shower head, that you don't really require a permit for. And then again, we added the vanity rough-in there too. So the plumbing permit is important. It's one of the 3 that you're gonna probably need to acquire for a project like this basement development. And basically they're gonna look at things like your drainage being vented properly and that sort of thing, right? That you don't have leaky water lines. Don't forget your return air, of course, and your heat runs. A lot of times you don't require a mechanical permit for that, unless you're messing with the furnace and maybe the main plenums, stuff like that. Also, things to consider are the gas line. Should you want to add a fireplace, you need to consider a gas line and a permit for specifically the gas above and beyond your regular plumbing permit. We're not going to do that here, but there's one in the ceiling running to the main floor fireplace, so it's something that I thought I'd bring up. Thank you for joining us. We'll keep you in tune with the next phase to this project, which will be the drywall process. Once we get our permits closed this week, we'll be starting drywall immediately, and we'll get you guys back out to check out how that looks. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube below to our channel here, and then you can check us out alternatively at cbrannonconstruction.com on our website, and then on Facebook at C. Brannon Construction. So thank you very much and have a wonderful day. We'll see you next time.